Hi, this is Jayendran Nair, a PhD student at Professor Haidar's lab at IIT Delhi. I am excited to present my work where I am trying to predict the catalytic activity of heteropoly acids using machine learning approach. Heteropoly acids have been used for various sustainable solutions. We can see an example over here suggested from our own lab previously. Here, ethanol and levulinic acid derived from biomass could be converted to ethyl levulinate using heteropoly acid. Ethyl levulinate could be used as a gasoline additive. Now, the selection of heteropoly acid plays an important role in such reactions. For the design of these heteropoly acids, we have suggested a machine learning approach where we are using the interesting property of these heteropoly acids. Here we can change the atoms, the central as well as the addenda atoms, and fine tune the properties of these acid catalysts. Now, over here, the addenda atoms are usually the transition metal elements, and the central atom is usually a p block element. So these transition metals are connected with oxygen, and we also have hydrogen, which is donated during the acid catalysis. Now, if we observe the role of heteropoly acids in this esterification reaction that we observe now, protons are donated by these acid catalysts, and these protons, as you can see, plays a very important role in the mechanism. The energy required to remove this proton is deprotonation enthalpy. So we also can understand that deprotonation enthalpy also, the value of deprotonation enthalpy could also affect the reactivity of these acid catalysis. Now, if we want to understand the significance of deprotonation enthalpy, we can consider this example, where if we compare the system where we used phosphotungstic acid and on the other hand we used phosphomolybdic acid. Over here, phosphotungstic acid would mean phosphorus at the center, and tungsten would be the addenda atoms. And over here, phosphomolybdic acid would mean phosphorus at the center, and molybdenum transition. Molybdenum is a transition metal. We can observe that deprotonation enthalpy of phosphotungstic acid is lower as compared to phosphomolybdic acid. Now, if we compare the apparent activation energy in both in various solvents from both these systems, we can see that the reactivity is higher over the phosphotungstic acid system as compared to that of the phosphomolybdic acid system. So this gives a slight idea that deprotonation enthalpy, if it's low, that means we need lower energy to remove this proton. That means the reactivity could be higher. Of course, we are not suggesting that this is a universal descriptor, but yes, it can give a preliminary idea in catalyst design. Taking this as the motivation, we build up our machine learning model. So the data selected over here is by changing the addenda as well as the central atom of these heteropoly acids, and we calculated the deprotonation enthalpy from density functional theory calculations. Now, for each of these heteropoly acids, we represented it with features in this machine learning model. The features actually belong to the periodic table properties of the addenda and the transition metals as well as the p block element that we selected. Further, the data thus generated, we split it into a train set and a test set, where the train set was used to fit the model and the test set was used to test uh, if the model is predicting correct deprotonation enthalpy, uh, uh, or to analyze the deprotonation enthalpy predicted by this model. Now, as far as the data selection is considered, we used two different classes of heteropoly acids. One is a tungsten-based heteropoly acid, and the other one is a molybdenum-based heteropoly acid. Now, over here, tungsten-based would mean the transition metal that we used was tungsten, and in molybdenum-based heteropoly acids would mean we used molybdenum as the transition metal. Now, basically, these are the two prominent classes of heteropoly acids that are known, and for our density functional theory calculations, we varied the central atom with all these p block elements. Now, out of this, those highlighted in yellow represent that they have been experimentally synthesized. So we could actually benchmark with what experiments were synthesizing or what experiments were suggesting. However, those in blue are actually not have not been experimentally synthesized. So that is purely from the density functional theory data that we have. Now, the deprotonation enthalpy that we obtain seems to trend as we change the central atom down the group. We can see that the deprotonation enthalpy is increasing. This is the case also for the molybdenum-based heteropoly acids. This gives us a motivation where we can select the periodic table properties of these central atoms, and it might have some correlation with deprotonation enthalpy. This intrinsic correlation might help in predicting uh, uh, predicting this descriptor more efficiently from ML model. The feature that we selected over here, uh, so we in all selected 12 features, out of which only 4 were representing the transition metals. That's because we don't have much variety in transition metals. We just have tungsten and molybdenum. So we use just 4 features representing them, and the remaining 8 features representing the central atom. Now, over here, we started with a lot of features, but we had to reduce the number of features depending on how they are contributing to the machine learning model. Now, here we actually, to analyze the errors, we used 2 different parameters. One is a root mean squared error, and the other one is the variance score. Now, to test various models, for example, we used linear regression, the support vector machine, and the decision tree ensemble models. We can see that the root mean squared error of the train data as well as the test data are similar in at least in the linear regression, ridge regression, the support vector machine. However, for the decision tree in the decision tree ensemble models, we can see a lower train errors as compared to the other set of algorithm. Now, in order to also test if we are overfitting our data, we use this variance score analysis. Now, variance score, if it's close to 1, it represents a good fit. Now, if the training data set gets a good fit, if the training variance score is close to 1, but the test data set is not getting a good fit, that means the variance score is quite below. That means we are overfitting the training data set and not predicting a correct deprotonation enthalpy from a test data set. That's a drawback then. And this we can see this drawback, we could see it in the random forest and the extra tree regression. But if we can chalk out the best model out of these, we can say it is the gradient boosting regression algorithm. This GBR model is predicting a uh, good fit for the trained data set. Also, we can say a good fit for the test data set. Obviously, we can see a slight trade-off in such ML models. Now, if we go ahead with this GBR model, we can understand an interesting feature that, so we started with a small data set, and this is trying to predict this small data set with a number of decision trees. Now, in each of these decision trees, it tries to reduce the errors, and the ensemble effect that we see in our final model, it predicts a deprotonation enthalpy of very low error that we can say of around 5 kilojoule per mole, or we can say 0.05 around 0.05 electron volt. So in short, we just give our inputs as features, which are simple periodic table properties of the transition metals and as well as the central atom, and we can easily predict the deprotonation enthalpy. Again, an interesting idea over here. This is trying to also predict the physics of these heteropoly acids. We can see that during the reaction in heteropoly acids, the electron clouds are usually distorted because of the transition metals, because of the transition state, the reactants and the products, because they are all in the charged state. And because of that, uh, we also considered the polarizability as an important feature, polarizability of the central atom as an important feature. And we can see that this is contributing a lot for the development of this GBR model. That's an interesting idea. This ML model is also slightly predicting the or suggesting the physics uh, of this heteropoly acids. Yeah. So in summary, we understand that deprotonation enthalpy is a decisive probe to screen these acid catalysts. It can help experimentalists design a good acid catalyst. The GBR model that we obtained, it was efficiently predicting the deprotonation enthalpy for such a small data set. And we also expect that this could be extended to other classes of acid catalysts. Thank you very much.